How's it going, everybody? One of the few viable forms of offense and yet so hated by the community, bashes. When simply looking at the reaction times required and then comparing it to attacks, people should be able to deal with most of them easily. Having to move your finger when using a controller, or it simply being a completely different form of defense in the form of dodging, I don't know. There are two different types of dodge offense in this game currently. One is chargeable bashes like wardens or itokiris. The way they function is that each individual part of the bash mix-up is reactable, but when combined, it no longer is. That is where their effectiveness stems from. You are forced to play the guessing game, as most like to call it. And if you make the correct read, you can consistently punish them for it. When you dodge a warden bash, you can get a GB. There are only a few exceptions, like the fully charged bash flying past you and your GB is out of range because of that. Bar these weird situations, the previous statement holds true. If you make a correct read, then you get a punish. The other form of bash offense is fast bashes like BPs, Kongs or Warlords. Those are 500 ms bashes that require a dodge beforehand. I think we can add TND's Palm Strike and Jormungandr's Grab in the same category. This type of bashes is what I want to take a closer look at today. I've had comp players ask me why they can dodge some of these easier than the others, while the numbers say that they're exactly the same. So I'll give you guys the same explanation that I gave them. Mind you, this is just me trying to come up with one. The difference in ease in regards to dodging might be more of an individual thing. First of all, and I think one of the most important aspects is the unblockable symbol itself, because it works slightly differently than attack indicators. Attack indicators appear instantly. When an attack starts, the indicator pops up immediately. There is no fading in. That is not the case for the unblockable symbol. That isn't really part of the whole guard indicator. The symbol pops up in the middle of the player model, and as you can see here, it takes a few frames to be completely visible. Comparing the stamina drain of the bash, aka the starting point of the move, and the time the unblockable symbol becomes fully visible, it is a solid 66 ms difference. People can now argue that it's already plenty visible at 50 ms, but that's semantics. And we also need to look at it in 33 ms increments because of how consoles work. This would be 2 frames on consoles. We can't say it takes 1.5 frames. That's not how this works. This indicator discrepancy isn't necessarily related to the question I posed before. Why is one bash easier to dodge than the other? Because the indicator is exactly the same on all of them. It always fades in. I personally do not like this at all. There is absolutely no reason to not have it behave like other attack indicators. I've always been an advocate for a clear UI, and I think this is part of it. It makes them slightly more reactable for the moment, but once we get the testing ground changes, this will no longer be an issue anyways. Next is something very distinctive to every bash. Unblockable moves have an orange glow. That goes for attacks as well as bashes. And the part that will hit you will glow orange. Some of you might have never noticed this, but each move has a different body part glowing orange. For Conk and BP, it's obviously the shield. For Warlord, it's the head. For TND, the arm, and so on. You get the idea. This is relevant because not only is the spot that glows different, the size of the overall orange fire burning like thing, that's different. Black Prior has a way bigger shield than Conk. That's painfully obvious. Warlord's headbutt is considered as one of the hardest to dodge on reaction, because he hits with his head and not with the weapons that are naturally in front of his body. That part can be partially obscured. Best example here is Warlord in Top Guard throwing a headbutt. The shield will hide the orange glow of the head for quite some time. We are talking about milliseconds here. A single frame can make the difference between a bash being reactable or unreactable. The further we go down in terms of reaction speed, the quicker a move can become unreactable and requiring a read to even dodge, let alone be able to get a punish. Conqueror's shield, because of their superior block property, glows white during dodges. So the color change from white to bright orange might not be the best thing to rely on here. The unblockable indicator itself is probably more reliable here. I am kind of hesitant to talk about animations being obvious, as that can be a very individual thing. One player might have an easier time with one animation, while a different one is struggling with it. You can objectively say that BP's bash has more movement in it compared to Conqueror's. It has this additional uppercut motion, but whether that's enough and early enough into the animation to make a difference is another thing. If a move has a very exaggerated animation at the end, that makes no difference at all to its reactability, as you need to be able to tell early on to still react to it. I want to touch on another subject here, and that is external bashes. The only form of external indicator for bashes is the red exclamation mark over your head and over the head of the player performing the move. It always appears in the team symbol, so opponents can be outside of your field of vision, which means if you rely on this, then you need to keep an eye on your own health bar. But just like the unblockable symbol, the exclamation mark as well fades in and doesn't just pop up. In this case, it can be argued that it's even worse, as it takes much longer to fully load in. So not only can the bash come from out of vision, the only indicator warning you about it also takes its sweet time. Like I've said before, there's zero reason for it to not pop up instantly. There is no need for some form of cinematic suspense where the audience is sitting in awe of what's about to happen. Nope, it's someone bashing your ass, and I'd like to know early on, please. How big of an issue this really is, I can't tell. How many people do reliably use that exclamation mark indicator in the first place? My guess is that most people just try and keep an eye on their surroundings and use character animations to tell what's happening. You still need to confirm what causes the exclamation mark. Dodge timings are different, you can't just dodge on it appearing. All in all, these moves will still be hard to dodge on the reaction for the average player, and even knowing all this won't change much in that regard. You can try and optimize your fashion with lots of orange to mask the glow, or position your guard accordingly. The difference will only be felt by very few players, but nevertheless, I think it's an interesting subject. Having said that, I hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Laters everybody.
Yeah, fuck you, Lawbringer. I'm still resing my mans.
I'm gonna bonk him for that.
My face went to no physical activity for like a couple weeks, and now body is just like a fucking potato.
Jelly.
Oh my god, how the fuck did I know?
Down for smoking. He's like, come back, you cunt. Come back. Slay him. Take his soul freeze. Do it.
What?
He's running
Dude,
back
I
again.
won't track
What
this
the
man drop.
fuck?
What the fuck? Where am I? What is going on? I'm so confused. I'm hugging. I'm gonna hug again. Uh-oh. You got revenge.
Insalcable.
Insalcable.
I like how the first heavy afro she fucking parries.
I'm coming today to help you.
Watch
I
out.
can ward them faint
Watch
while
out,
they're
please.
moving.
I think we're
Can
gonna
you
lose,
interrupt?
man.
Can you interrupt? Oh,
Oh, sorry.
it's fine.
Dodged away.
He did. He made a mistake.
Oh, good.
Oh, you got him, Poggies. I'll see if I can throw a fire flask on mid. Never mind, we
Oh,
are
I need help. I'm dead.
I'm coming up soon-ish.
It was my bad, I was like stuck in there.
Time to all
Alright,
get
it's time
murdered
for
by
a
one
funny
BP.
flask.
Yeah, that works.
Sometimes you just gotta be funny with your flasks.